Another one of the great community groups that's represented here at the 69th Annual Fish Fry is the Costa Mesa Sanitary District. And we have with us someone here in the community who has one of the most impressive list of credentials that I've ever seen. This is Miss Arlene Shafer. She is two-time past president of the Harbor Mesa Lions Club. She's former mayor and council member of the city of Costa Mesa. She now serves on the board of the Costa Mesa Sanitary District, which, as you've heard, is a special district. And so to top that, Arlene also is the past president and current member of the executive committee of the Special District Association of California, which is a statewide trade association for special districts. Well, Ms. Shafer, how are you, and how's it going at the Fish Fry this year?
It's going great. This is the 69th year of the Fish Fry, and we've had it every year, and we actually, what's so great about it, it's for the community. It's something where we turn around and get all the money and allocate it into organizations that need money and that need to take care of themselves because the city can no longer provide for them. So this is a way we get to do it.
Okay, now you are a member of the Harbor Mesa Lions Club, and you're up there with the the Costa Mesa Newport Harbor Lions Club, which is sponsoring this fish fry, and you're up there selling fish and having a good time. Could you explain the difference between the two clubs?
Yeah, the one club who's putting this on is the men's club, and we are a women's club, which is a rare thing. It just happens to be all women Harbor Mesa Lions, and we are put together to put this on because they need that kind of help. There's no way they can do it without us, and we're so happy to do it with them to be able to give to the community.
I'm curious, Arlene, is there any effort underway to merge the women and the men's club together, or has that been discussed, or could you comment on that if you'd like?
Yeah, not really. You know, there's other Lions clubs, like there's a breakfast club that meets on a Thursday morning at Mimi's, and there's ours that meets once. Actually, we meet the first Monday of every month. Then the third Monday of every month, we go to restaurants around town and meet for another board meeting. And because I'm on the board of directors of the Harbor Mesa, we also have the last Monday of the month for the board. And as far as the men's club, they meet on a couple of times a month too.
Okay, now on your service mission in the community, are the two clubs similar in how they support groups? For example, they have a lot of interest in the hearing impaired. How about your club? Is it similar, or are there other organizations you support?
Yeah, we're all supporting the same cause, and we're all into the what's going on with the eyes, the Helen Keller, and we actually are like a large chapter. It's a whole district. It's all of Orange County, and we're part of this. So there's Lions clubs from all over. La Habra, Brea, Fullerton, they're all different Lions clubs. Even at this fish fry, they're serving, they're earning money, and they will get to provide for their different organizations they want to be involved in.
I think that's great. You get synergistic effects for community service, and the common clubs, come together. Now I'm going to ask you to take your Lions Club hat off and put your hat on for the sanitary district. Now, a lot of people don't know about a sanitary district. They know there's a water district like Mesa and stuff. They know their trash gets picked up. Could you briefly describe the main functions of the Costa Mesa Sanitary District for us?
Sure. The sanitary district is actually over all the trash in our area. So we're the ones that contract out to CR&R, who's a trash company, and we pick up all the trash throughout the whole area. And then also we have a small portion that's even Newport Beach. Maybe one side will be our trash, and the other side they'll say, gee, why aren't we getting the same service? And they're Newport. And then also, I'd say the second Tuesday of every month is a study session where our sanitary district meets and discusses items that would take up way too much time at public hearing and seeing whether it's worthy to go for a public hearing. And then what happens on the fourth Thursday of the month is a public hearing. And of course, it's open to the public, everything we have. The exciting part is right now we're ready to move. We're just in the midst of selling our 19th Street office, and we will be moving to Red Hill and Paularina.
Okay, that's up there on the way to Santa Ana and Irvine, yeah, a little on the north side of town.
Yeah, that's right, towards the airport more.
Right, now since there's a lot of issues facing this community, we all know what they are: water, transportation, traffic. People, it seems, as long as my trash is picked up, the sanitary district is doing its job. So in that sense, what are the key either policy issues or issues that residents in the community should think about? What are the challenges facing your board right now, if you could pick the top three, Arlene?
Okay. Well, aside from the trash, there's also the part that we have the laterals. Like, people have to call plumbers to find out, to get their laterals fixed.
What are laterals?
It's in the sewer part that involves that. So we have trained the public as far as to call us, and we have different plumbers that we can give them a list of to call to be able to fix that. We also, another item that's very important right now is the organics. And the organic service is something where we have a special pickup of that. And what the organics do is it's all greenery, anything that's food. And we have a list of all different kinds of foods that go in it too. We haul it to Paris. And in Paris, we have a regular big giant place where it will churn and develop itself into natural gas. And that's how we are fueling our trash trucks with that.
That's what they call biomass in the energy conversion, energy conservation side. That's just fascinating. Arlene, given the import of these, are there opportunities here in Costa Mesa or within your service area in general for residents to learn more? Do you have study sessions? Is there a public outreach program of any kind? How can people get more informed about what they can do and what the district is facing?
What we've been doing workshops, and before this ever started at the organic end, we went around to all over in Costa Mesa and had different workshops with the people who wanted to come, and it was well attended. And there we would teach them about it, and we'd have a slideshow too. And they can go to Costa Mesa Sanitary District on the computer and hear all about everything and whatever they want to find out. It's always listed in a slideshow.
Now, I know that you've dealt with this issue, so it's certainly fair for me to ask. And as someone who's been so involved with Costa Mesa, this is something that I'm sure you know by heart, and that is growth, transportation, and other issues are continuing to face this community. One might say that the more people who move into Costa Mesa or the more waste that is generated, it would make your district's job a little bit more difficult. Is that oversimplified, or is there a direct relationship between growth and the tasks that you face as a board?
Well, actually, we are growing. You're right. And with the growth comes everything else that you could think of the problems, the situations, and that's why we go into a study session so that we can look at these items and people can come. And we even service the organizations in the community by listening to what they have for needs, and we take out booths. We have one right now, and we have one at Concert in the Park, and it's to educate the people and give away some items that might help them too.
Okay, that's great, Arlene. That's really good to know. Now, you may want to sort of consider this question, but given your position with the city as an elected official and the fact that you're on a first name basis and are very, very professionally involved with so many of the leaders in this town, could you comment on the, if not the current status, the ongoing working relationship that the district has with the city of Costa Mesa?
We're working well with them because a lot of items, what we have is called a liaison committee, and every 3 months we have with the sanitary district, the Mesa Water District, and the city. And we come together and we take turns hosting it at different locations that we all have. And at that time, we bring up any problems that occur. If we're ripping up a street from some, then we'll say, oh, we're going to change this, and we'll go down and take care of our pipes while you're doing that. And anyway, it works very well.
Well, I think a lot of our members of our audience may not be aware that what you just described is going on. From my experience in public policy, that's one of the most important things that a special district or a local government can do, would be to talk to each other at both the board level and the staff level to resolve this issue of cooperation and coordination. My congratulations to you guys for doing that. And it's not easy, but at least the dialogue is there. You mentioned your organics program. Now, I remember when I take my trash out, and I like to recycle, but friends of mine and my wife, we always, when we think of organics, ooh, messy, and oh, it's really tricky and more labor intensive. How is that program going, and what kind of difficulties are people typically experiencing, and what can they do about it? Is it faring well? Do people understand what they need to do? What's happening with that, Arlene?
Well, when it first started, what we had offered was buckets, small little buckets also, that they could come get, and then they put all their items of food and so forth, bones, whatever, in the kitchen in that, and then they take that out to the big can that they have, which is a green cover. And we had a line a mile long. Everybody was coming doing it. Now it's the idea to keep educating people for them to come out and understand it better. Because, you know, a lot of people don't do it mainly because they're saying, oh, you know, it's kind of smelly. Well, you can go to Target, you can go to a lot of these stores, and they sell the liners that go into this bucket, and you could just throw the whole thing in. You don't have to like dump, and then, you know, it makes a big difference. And so anyway, it's a process going in educating people, but it's going good.
Right, it's about changing habits and getting people to think about what they normally do in a slightly a different way. Well, one last question here, and it's percolating in the community, so feel free to comment succinctly. We've heard through the grapevine that there is a move afoot to merge or consolidate Mesa Water District with Costa Mesa Sanitary, and it seems to be somewhat controversial. Do you have any comments on that? Where is it? Is there going to be a study? What are your thoughts on that, Arlene?
Well, they have written us a letter, and we have responded and wrote them a letter, and it dealt with the what would we be doing together, and having a study, and what it would cost. And there's so many issues of it. We have written them a letter and told them a lot of legal items that they need to look at and think about. We have it on our 14th of June study session to talk about how we can put a study together, or if we are going to, and what's going to happen out of it. They have talked to us through a letter, we've talked to them through a letter, and we'll see, because there's a lot more to it than people think. You know, it's not the idea, because we represent a part that they don't, and they represent a part we don't. After you flush, it's up to us. And so, you know, it's a lot different, because benefits, we don't get any benefits as a sanitary district. We just get our pay for 6 meetings, and that's it. They have 10 meetings, and they have all the benefits, they have retirement. So we have to look at all this and kind of talk about it. So we're just going to get people together and see if we can do it in maybe 2s from each organization.
Okay, that's a pretty significant proposal. At the study session that you mentioned, Arlene, will there be an opportunity for public comment there?
Oh, there always is. People can always talk.
Okay, Arlene Shafer, always a pleasure. Go back and have a good time with your fish, and we'll keep you posted about developments here. And it's really, really good to see you. And best of luck for the rest of the weekend. And we'll start passing the word about the sanitary district's work. Thanks for joining us, Arlene.
Thank you.